Vita Feliz. Let's vacation, let's go somewhere overseas. Took the polo off and switched to soccer tee.
All right, everybody, I'm with Trevor Bauer. How you doing, Trevor?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Great. So, you have a podcast. Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, from a personality standpoint, you want to be out there. You want to be able to let people hear your voice and different things. Can you talk about what was the idea behind that?
Yeah, so basically exactly what you said. I mean, we're trying to get as many big league guys on there as possible to just talk. I mean, going to dinner is a big part of baseball culture. You get into a new city after the series, and it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Everyone goes out together, gets some dinner, and talks, and like the conversations that go on there are like so interesting and so funny, you know. And fans never get a chance to be a part of that. So try to give fans a little bit of insight into like what baseball culture is like. Just guys sitting down, talking baseball at dinner, talking life, whatever the case is, and give guys a chance to show off their personalities, because you know baseball in general isn't very good at that. You know, we were just talking. You get the NBA, and like every game that's on TV, it's like a fashion show walking into the arena. Every player, they got their suits, they got their bags, their shoes, everything, right? They get to show off like this little part of them. They all got their own thing. Like on the court, you get to see their personality. They're wearing different shirts for warm up, whatever. Baseball, you see guys on the field in uniform, and you're told, you know, like don't show emotion or whatever, and no one ever gets a chance to identify with that guy's personality and really connect with them. So that's the whole goal of the podcast, of the show, and really the company as a whole. You know, I started Momentum to promote the game of baseball, make it more popular, and make the players more popular. You know, let them show off their personalities so they can do more off the field.
Yeah, I agree, because I love the Bow outage line. I think that's really unique. And let's talk about, we talk about sneakers and different like things off the field and off the diamond. You're a Nike guy. Mm-hmm. Do you like sneakers by any chance, or you got it like buys Jordans or anything of that nature?
I'm like as plain as they come. I'll get a pair of Nike Frees every like year and a half and like wear the same shoes. My teammates wear me out all the time. It's like, get some new shoes. Like, you've been wearing the same shoes for 4 months. I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with them? They're fine. You know? But like that's me. You know, and you got other guys in the clubhouse that have a new pair of shoes every single day and they're showing it off. But like plenty of people feel the way I feel about shoes, and plenty of people feel the way they feel about shoes, and like let's show that off. Let's guys show off their personality, show off their shoe taste, their clothing taste, their fashion taste, all that different stuff. So, yeah.
All right, so everybody, you know, they're in the video games now. Obviously, Fortnite is a big deal, the Call of Duties, but MLB The Show. Mm-hmm. You're on the video game, and I'm pretty sure as a kid that was like something that you probably were like, man, one day I don't have to create myself. They're going to actually throw me on the game. Have you ever seen yourself on MLB The Show?
So I've never actually played it, but I've seen like people send me clips of like them playing it on Twitter and be like, oh, I could throw a perfect game with you in the show today, or like, you know, I hit a home run with you in the show. I gotta talk about that for a second. If you're creating me in the show, like as a player, and you give me the power to hit a ball out of the park, like you're just wrong, man.
It's happened. I've actually played someone where we played an actual game in the NL, and I played against someone, they actually hit a home run, would you believe?
Yeah, that's just not. There's no chance. There's just zero chance. I don't have that power. Like I could crow hop and hit a ball, and I still wouldn't get to the warning track. I don't got that kind of juice. So, but no, it's cool, man. It's like you grow up, like you said, you see these guys on TV, you see them in the game, like you're playing like even as much as like backyard baseball, like on the computer and like games like that, you know. And then to see yourself be on the show and like young kids are playing with like as you as a character, like it's really cool. All
right, last question. So Tim Lincecum fan.
Yeah.
And who are some baseball players that you grew up, you know, obviously Tim Lincecum is a big part of your baseball story, but who are some other players that you looked up to, even non-pitchers?
Yeah, man. So I grew up in LA, and you know, it was like, actually, it's a great story. I got a scar on my nose right here because of Brett Butler. Oh. And he's a center fielder. A lot of guys probably, might not know who he is, but he made this catch one day. He's like, robbed a home run. He like put a foot in the wall, jumped up there, like reached literally over the wall, caught the ball, brought it back. And I just thought it was like the coolest thing. And so I was like running around the house as like a little 5-year-old or whatever, however old I was young, with a ball. And I was just like throwing it up, and I'd like go and jump against the wall and catch it, like pretending like I was him. I was wearing socks, and we had carpet in the house. So I threw it up, jumped against the wall, against the garage door, and hit it, came down, my feet slipped, and then my nose came down right on the doorknob and just split me open. So I had to go to the ER and get stitches and stuff. So I got a scar there about like, that reminds me every day of like, oh yeah, I was pretending to be like Brett Butler from a young age. But then it was like I got into pitching staff, so it was Zito, Hudson, and Mulder in Oakland, and it was Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox in Atlanta. You know, and those are my two. Like I remember making, like, my dad and I would make the tomahawk chops like every postseason, because they're in the postseason every year, 15 straight or something.
14 straight
like
division.
And so we every year growing up, like, that was the thing. We'd get our tomahawk chops out and root for the Braves, and it's amazing looking back and seeing like I've done some stuff where I got to actually sit there and talk to John, and I got to meet Barry and train with Barry for a while. I got to train with him, you know, last off season a little bit, or 2 off seasons ago, 1 or 2, and like growing up idolizing these guys, you make them out to be these like massive, like bigger than life, you know, and like that moment where you get to meet them and like you're on the same playing field as them, you know, you kind of talk to them as peers as opposed to like a fan. I remember going to spring training and like just yelling at Barry nonstop, "Barry, you told me you'd sign, can I please get an autograph," right? And now I'm out there and I hear the same thing, like kids yelling at me that way, and I'm like, man, that is so annoying. Like I must, but then it's nice because you go over and you sign for the kids and you know how much it means to them.
You never know.
And I hope, you know, some of those guys that I've signed for will be the next generation of stars. You know, so it's just that whole process, like how it comes full circle, is just so cool.
All right, everybody. Well, you know, my man Trevor made the All-Star team last year. We need you guys. We're going to post that link to get that vote in, to get them back in there. So we need all you guys to vote. So, Trevor, we appreciate you now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you.